Have you ever wondered how war took to the skies? It all started with humanity's age-old fascination for flight, a fascination that would eventually lead us to the dawn of war aviation. The earliest experiments in aviation were a spectacle of trial and error, filled with both triumphs and tragedies. It was a time of daring inventors and innovations that defied the limits of what was thought possible. In the late 19th century, pioneers such as Otto Lilienthal and Octave Chanute took to the skies with their gliders, pushing the boundaries of human flight. But the true game changer came in the early 20th century with the Wright brothers, Orville and Wilbur. Their invention of the first powered, heavier-than-air aircraft in 1903 marked a turning point in aviation history. This breakthrough stirred the world's imagination and sparked a global race to conquer the skies. Yet, as with many technological advancements, there was a darker side to this fascination with flight. Nations saw the potential of using these new flying machines for military purposes. The idea of observing enemy movements from above or even dropping explosives from the sky was both intriguing and terrifying. Could these fragile contraptions truly be transformed into instruments of war? As tensions escalated across Europe in the lead-up to the First World War, the race for aerial supremacy intensified. The ingenuity of inventors and engineers was harnessed to create machines that could not only fly, but also fight. Innovations in engine technology, aircraft design and weaponry were driven by the looming prospect of war. The stage was set for a new era of warfare, an era where battles would no longer be confined to land and sea, but would also be fought in the vast expanse of the sky. The dawn of flight had arrived, bringing with it a new dimension to the art of war. Soon these aerial dreams would become a reality, forever transforming the face of warfare. The birth of war aviation was championed by daring individuals who dared to defy gravity. This audacious venture into the skies began with the Wright brothers, who first demonstrated the possibilities of powered flight. Orville and Wilbur Wright, two self-taught engineers from Ohio, were the architects of the first successful airplane. Their invention, a biplane with a wingspan of 40 feet, was a marvel in the early 20th century, challenging the very notion of human capabilities. Yet the Wright brothers were not alone in their pursuit of the skies. Across the Atlantic, Louis Blériot, a French aviator and inventor, was making his own strides in aviation. He achieved fame for his daring flight across the English Channel in a monoplane he designed and built himself. This feat not only showcased the potential of aircraft for long-distance travel, but also sparked interest from military powers who saw the strategic advantages of controlling the skies. The evolution of aircraft designs did not stop there. Enter Anthony Fokker, a Dutch aviation pioneer. Fokker's contributions to war aviation were significant, particularly in the field of fighter aircraft. He designed the Fokker Eindecker, a monoplane equipped with a synchronized machine gun. This innovation allowed the pilot to fire through the arc of the propeller without hitting the blades, revolutionizing aerial combat. These pioneers, each in their own right, pushed the boundaries of technology and courage. They set the stage for the use of aircraft in warfare, transforming the battlefield from a two-dimensional space to a three-dimensional theater. As military powers began to recognize the strategic potential of airborne assets, the stage was set for a new era of warfare, one that would take place not just on land and sea, but also in the vast expanse of the sky. These pioneers set the stage for the first aerial battles, forever changing the nature of warfare. Their contributions, born from a blend of innovation, courage and a dash of audacity, marked the dawn of a new era, an era where the sky was no longer a limit but a new frontier to conquer. As World War I broke out, the skies became a new battlefield. The dawn of aviation had spurred the development of aircraft that would soon be used not just for exploration or sport, but for warfare. The stage was set for the first aerial wars, where daring aviators would take to the heavens, testing their mettle in this uncharted domain of conflict. A new breed of warriors emerged, the Knights of the Sky, as they were romantically referred to. They were pilots who engaged in daring dogfights, soaring and diving in their primitive flying machines, battling not just their enemy counterparts, but also the unpredictable elements and the limits of early aviation technology. These early skirmishes in the sky were about more than just individual battles. They were a demonstration of the strategic importance of air superiority. For the first time in history, battles were no longer confined to land and sea. The sky had become a crucial third front. From the Battle of the Somme to the Battle of Verdun, these aerial conflicts played a pivotal role. Reconnaissance flights gathered crucial intelligence, spotting enemy positions and movements. Bombers launched daring raids, raining destruction from above. Fighter planes engaged in deadly aerial duels, protecting their comrades and disrupting enemy operations. Among the brave aviators, names like Manfred von Richthofen, also known as the Red Baron, and René Fonck began to resonate. Their courage, skill, and audacity became legendary, inspiring generations of future pilots. But it was not all about glamour and heroism. The harsh reality of aerial warfare quickly became apparent. High casualty rates, the physical and psychological toll on the pilots, and the rapid obsolescence of aircraft models showed that this new form of warfare was as brutal as it was revolutionary. These early battles marked the beginning of a new era in warfare, one dominated by the power of flight. The sky was no longer just a canvas for the birds and the clouds. It had become a theatre of war, forever altering the course of human conflict. War has always been a catalyst for technological advancement, and aviation was no exception. In the maelstrom of World War I, the race was on to dominate the skies, leading to an unprecedented leap in technology that forever changed the face of warfare. In the early days of the war, aircraft were primarily used for reconnaissance. These fragile, canvas-winged birds provided an eye in the sky, a new perspective that allowed commanders to observe enemy movements from a safe distance. But as the war progressed, so did the role of these airborne machines. The introduction of aerial photography brought a new level of precision to reconnaissance, transforming vague reports into detailed images of enemy trenches and artillery positions. This was a game-changer, making it possible to plan attacks with a degree of accuracy previously unimagined. But the skies were not just for watching. The inherent potential of aircraft as weapons of war soon became clear. What if these machines could not just observe, but also attack? This sparked the development of bombing tactics. Initially, bombs were simply dropped by hand over the side of the cockpit. Crude, yes, but effective in sowing chaos behind enemy lines. As the war raged on, the machines of flight grew more sophisticated. The birth of fighter planes brought a new dimension to the conflict. Equipped with forward-firing machine guns and more powerful engines, these predators of the sky engaged in deadly dogfights, dueling in a ballet of death high above the trenches. The rapid pace of innovation was breathtaking. In just 4 years, aviation had evolved from fragile, unarmed reconnaissance craft to deadly machines of war, capable of altering the course of battles and striking fear into the hearts of those below. In just a few short years, aviation had revolutionized warfare, setting the stage for the conflicts to come. The seeds planted in the skies of World War I would grow into the mighty air forces of the future, forever altering the strategy and tactics of war. This was the technological leap that launched an era of aerial warfare, a legacy that continues to this day. The birth of war aviation had a profound impact, reshaping the world as we know it. It ushered in a new era of warfare, forever altering the strategic landscape. No longer were battles confined to the trenches and seas. The sky had become the third front, a vast expanse of potential victories and untold dangers. The advent of war aviation changed not only the way wars were fought, but also the way they were perceived. With the ability to strike from the sky, nations were no longer shielded by their geography. Borders were redrawn, alliances shifted, and the balance of power took flight, literally and metaphorically. It was a time of rapid innovation and adaptation. Technologies that were once the stuff of dreams became realities, and tactics that were once unthinkable became standard practice. The pioneers of war aviation were not just engineers and pilots, they were visionaries, daring to imagine a world where the impossible was possible. The legacy of war aviation continues to shape our world today. Every jet that streaks across the sky, every drone that hovers above the battlefield, Every satellite that orbits our planet is a testament to the courage and ingenuity of those early pioneers. Their dreams took flight, and in doing so, they changed the world. But it's not just the technology that endures. The spirit of innovation, the drive to push boundaries, the courage to face the unknown, these are the true legacies of war aviation. They continue to inspire us, to challenge us, to propel us forward. We see their influence in the way we approach challenges, in the way we solve problems, in the way we envision the future. We see it in the engineers who design the next generation of aircraft, in the pilots who navigate the uncharted skies, in the strategists who plan the complex operations. As we look back on the birth of war aviation, we see a time of unprecedented change and innovation, a time that continues to shape our world today. It's a legacy of courage, ingenuity, and a daring leap into the unknown. A leap that took us from the trenches to the stars, from the earthbound to the airborne, from the possible to the impossible. And for that, we owe a debt of gratitude to those early pioneers, to those brave souls who dared to take flight.